In this video, I'm going to share with you everything you should do if you are starting a GEO strategy, a generative engine optimization strategy from the bottom today. I'm gonna share with you the 3 things that are, in my opinion, the most important to do today if you are starting your generative engine optimization strategy. It's nothing complicated, just back to the roots, back to the basics, but this will change your strategy and will help you grow your traffic from ChatGPT and grow your leads from ChatGPT. Let's start the video. If you don't know me, I'm Luca. I'm the founder of Qwairy, Qwairy.co. We are a generative engine optimization platform. We help brands rank better on ChatGPT and grow their visibility on all LLMs. Have a look at our website. Today, I'm sharing with you 3 points that are the most important that work with all the brands we work with. It's really the 3 points that will change your AI strategy. The first point is understanding your prompt and finding your prompt. This is what is very complicated today because we don't have as much data as we have with SEO on LLM, but I will share with you the exact method that I use. The second point is finding the right sources, finding the right backlinks to get to rank better on LLM. And the third point is finding the content that you need to create today to rank better. And I will give a couple of examples of brands that found a way that really works and help them to grow their visibility. Let's start with the prompt. So the first step to rank better and improve your presence on LLM is really understanding the prompt that you should target. With SEO, for a long time, we had some very good tools. We could know the search volume and all this data. At the moment, all this data is not available for LLMs. I think it will be in the future, but we have to understand also that, well, today, prompts are way larger than keywords, than how keywords used to be. You know, like a long tail prompt today is like 20 words potentially. But anyway, I have 2 techniques that I will share. The first one is just using a free tool that I built that I will put in the description. And the second one is using the Google Search Console with some techniques that are not known that much that I will share. So the first thing is going to prompt discovery. This is something we built with Qwairy. It's a GPT, it's free to use. And basically you give him a brand. So in this case, I'm going to write Nike.com. Nike is easy. Everyone knows Nike, but it works for any brand. What it will do for this, the first thing is that it will scrap the website to understand a little bit what Nike is doing. And then it will create different prompts, top of funnel that are very away, let's say, from buying intention, then middle funnel, and then bottom funnel that are very close to intention. And here you really have a list of prompts. They are separated between non-branded prompts and branded prompts. And you can really select among those prompts which one are the most interesting for your brand. For example, in this case, what are the best running shoes for beginners? If I were the CMO, the head of SEO of Nike, for me, I would be sure that this is exactly the kind of prompt where I want my brand to be ranking, my brand to be recorded. You can very easily, if you want, you can simply create a Google Sheet or whatever tools you want, Excel or whatever, to record this. And then you will need to follow this prompt, to track this prompt in a tool like Qwairy, for example, or simply every week with directly on ChatGPT. And let's show you the second technique with the Google Search Console. So for the Google Search Console, it's very easy. Basically, what we will use is something that is called Regex. What is Regex? It's regular expression. It's a way to filter. And in this case, I want to filter keywords that are longer than 8 words. So this is exactly the kind of regular expression that you need. Here, you know, you have 8. That means more than 8 words. I will put it in the description. You can simply copy paste it. But just note that in my case, I didn't know. I have known nothing about Regex. I just asked ChatGPT, can you give me a Regex for the Google Search Console for keywords longer than 8 words? And this is what he gave me. So just know that really, if you don't know how to code or this kind of things, now we have ChatGPT. And for this kind of things, very simple thing, it's really something you can use him for. Here in this case, I'm just showing all the expressions that are more than 8 words. It's a French beer blog. So this is why you see a lot of time written beer like here. But you see this kind of keywords, like for example here, what type of beer brands are compatible with the perfect draft system? This is something people use to ask on Google. They will still ask on Google, but potentially they will also ask it on ChatGPT. And this is very alike directly a prompt. And this is why then this is a prompt that you should follow, in my opinion, and you should follow if your brand is mentioned in there. So this is really something you should do. By the way, you can also do some reverse engineering. For example, what I do in general is that I look at my pages and the traffic that comes from ChatGPT, and then I try to invent the prompt. So this is something really new. In the past, you had tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs. We would just write a keyword and we will have a lot of keywords with search volume. Now we need to behave a bit differently, and we need to kind of guess a little bit the prompt. This is more marketing, a branding way of doing things. This is the world today, and this is how we need to adapt. So now we will continue. The second thing we will do is really understanding the prompt that you should rank for. This is what we did. Now we will understand the content that you should rank for, and then we will talk about the backlinks and all the backlinks you should get for your brand. So here, the first thing we do is just running the prompt directly on ChatGPT. You could do the same on Gemini. All platforms are really important. In this case, I just choose this prompt, best running shoes for under $100 to see what happens. Something you have to know here is that the answer from LLM will be very different if it's you, if it's someone else. So you have to run it a lot of time to get a really interesting overview of the brand that are mentioned, of the sources that are used. You really need to run it several times. This is why on Qwairy, we advise you to do some daily monitoring to really have some data. So basically here, what we see is that Adidas, Nike, and a second Nike pair of shoe comes. So this is really the shopping part of ChatGPT. And here we have some other explanation. The first thing I recommend to do is really to work on citation, on the sources that are used. And for this, we just have to click here and we will see a lot of sources. This source from adidas.com, running shoes under $100, is really interesting, but I will talk about it a little bit later on the video. Before that, what we can see is that here we have a lot of articles, the 6 best affordable running shoes, the 6 best running shoes on a budget. So basically what we will do is just opening this link and here really understand if your brand is mentioned. Let's check for Nike in this case. If Nike is mentioned in here, don't assume, yeah, Nike is mentioned here. So you really have to do this first. It's really the first thing I would do is really looking at all the sources and seeing if you are mentioned. Then you also should look at social like Reddit, YouTube, this kind of URL to understand if they are used and if there are conversations where you need to try to participate. In this case, we see Reddit. So I think it's quite interesting to work with Reddit in this case. So this is really the part of the world that looks like a backlink strategy like we used to do in SEO. If you don't know backlink strategy, the idea is simply to get links from other websites to your website. And what changed with GEO, with generative engine optimization, it is the fact that it's not about getting a link anymore, it's getting a brand mention. So this is what got really important today. And if you are starting GEO today, this is what you should focus on, getting brand mention over the web. And there is a way to get brand mention. It's simply to create your own content. And this is exactly what Adidas did here. You see, they did simply a page. So it's an e-commerce page. I will show you the page in a second. And the principle is very simple. They understood that people might search for running shoes under $100. And basically what they did is simply creating a page about this that we can see here, running shoes under $100. So if I were the competitor of Adidas, what I would do is really creating this page. And this is the case of e-commerce. It's really a strategy that works to have some very, very long tail pages. The more long tail you go, the more chances you have to rank on Google and to rank on LLM, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, whatever LLM you want to choose and to rank for. And this is also a strategy that we use with a lot of clients we have. It's basically to understand the kind of content that are ranking and to create this content on your website. So here, for example, you see to answer this prompt, the best running shoes under $100, ChatGPT used this runner's world, this reviews, and the subject of the content is always best affordable running shoes, best affordable running shoes. And this is something I would really create on my website if I wanted to rank. It's an article, best running shoes or something like that. And actually we did on Qwairy, we created a tool, best GEO tool, tool. I will show you this article in the second. You know, we wrote top 18 generative engine tools to try in 2025. And this is actually one of the articles that gets the most mentioned from ChatGPT, and it brings us a lot of new clients with that. So really, this is something you should do, creating your optimized content for LLM. This is it for this video. If you had to start GEO today, it's really about understanding the prompt, understanding your client, going for backlinks and brand mentions over the web in the right article, and creating the right content. Don't hesitate to try Qwairy, qwairy.co. You have 100 credits for free. Talk soon. Bye.